intend on giving you an update. But as you know, I also said there's a major problem with the Department of Human Services, Office of Behavioral Health, and other agencies, and how there is mistreatment and abuse going on. I also said in a video last month that I was sitting on some information. Well, it's true. I've been sitting on some information for about 2 years. And I've been trying to work within the system. And I've been working with my guest, who is a very big advocate. He really works hard. And I've been trying to do things by the book. But recent events, such as one of the top people at the Department of Human Services made, quote, and this I would hope Dan Honorato, Chief Executive, please listen carefully, or have your people listen carefully to what went on in a meeting. One of the people that is employed by the county in the Department of Human Services, a top leader, a top official, said, quote, we are not going to deal with mistreatment and abuse because the statute of limitations are up. Now think about that, America, Pittsburghers, county executive, governor. They're not going to deal with abuse or mistreatment because the statute of limitations are up. Now, I want you to keep that in your mind. We're going to go through the rest of the show. Keep that in your mind, because we're going to get to that, hopefully. The other thing is this. Recently, I was in a meeting, which was, I believe it's the Mental Health, Mental Retardation Advisory Board. I could be wrong on the schematics. But at any rate, within this meeting, a young lady named Eileen, who belongs to the empowerment committee that I have at Allegheny County CSP, Community Support Program. At any rate, she was trying to get someone terminated because they had been brutally abusive. Took about 2.5 years or what have you. So finally, she contacted Jane Orey, a state legislator, senator, what have you. She was trying to say the good things that happened, that this person finally got out of there because he was doing some very bad things. We're not going to get into it, but he was doing some bad things. He was very abusive, yada, yada, yada. Well, in this meeting, she went on to tell this, and she started to tell it. And this is where I want Dan Honorato and others in the county council, and the funders and the state taxpayers to listen carefully what happened. A person from the Department of Human Services went on to verbally assault Eileen. And they tried to play and paint a picture of her not quite being honest. And then the statement was even made that we investigated it and we found that no other consumers came forward. And the implication was that she was either lying or she was the only one this happened to. Now, I can't say whether she was the only one it happened to. But what I can say is that when someone is taking our taxpayer money, your taxpayer money, and working for our county executive and our state, they are not to abuse and mistreat the people they are paid to take care of. So whether Eileen was correct or incorrect, this person stepped over the line. However, that's bad enough. Now, one of the top people was also at this meeting. What do you suppose happened at that time when Eileen was being attacked by one of their employees? I'll tell you what happened. Nothing. They did not try to stop this verbal attack. And then a person who is not employed but is a family member who is very instrumental in the movement, she also essentially called Eileen a liar. Again, one of the top officials at the DHS did nothing, said nothing. At that point, I interjected. And I basically laid down the law and I said, first of all, Eileen, you're wrong. You are wrong. This person didn't get terminated all of a sudden out of nowhere. This person got terminated after you contacted State Legislator Jane Orey. So to State Legislator Jane Orey, I want to give a round of applause. Annette and Chris, please give her applause. She did the right thing. Yes, she did the right thing. Now let me tell you this. DHS did not do the right thing. The top officials didn't do the right thing. And I can tell you some names for DHS, but I'm not going to. But I'm going to tell you something. DHS right now are not doing the job they are employed to do. They are not taking care of the consumers. They're not taking care of your family. They're not taking care of your friends. They're not getting it done. Now, having said that, not everybody at the DHS are bad guys or bad women. There's some very good people there that I like and that are doing their job. But you know something? Even the good people at the DHS, they're not getting the job done either for the most part because of the F word. No, not that letter. Not that word. Fear. The good people at DHS are afraid to speak out, afraid to speak up, afraid to do what they need to do because of the systematic sweeping under the table of real abuse. So the good people there are afraid to risk their careers. And I can understand that. But I cannot excuse it. Yes, I like you, and you know who you are. But you know what? What I'm doing here, taking on billion-dollar industries or multi-million-dollar industries, yeah, it could physically hurt me. It could personally hurt me. It could do a lot of things. But you know what? Sometimes we cannot think about oneself. We have to think about other people. Yeah, I've been going on a long time. Don't tune out. Believe me, we're going to get to even more meaty and greedy stuff. Gritty stuff, I meant to say. But here's the thing. If you are getting paid to protect, educate, and empower a segment of society, and you're not doing your job, you need to be made to do your job. And if you still will not do your job, our politicians and the legal system must find a way to get you out of your job. And make no mistake what I'm saying here. There are two top officials at the DHS that so far at this time are not impressing me. I'm willing to meet with you. I'm willing to work with you. I am not willing to allow you to sweep it under the rug. Or as a friend of mine likes to say, be in bed together with other agencies. That I'm not willing to do. What am I going to do about it? I'm going to try to get meetings with the governor or the governor's staff, with state legislators or state legislators' staff, and with the chief executive. And I'm going to spill some of the beans. But also, keep one thing in mind. I will never give all of my evidence to any one person until I know I can trust that person. So far, there is no one that I have encountered that I completely trust in this system because I know of the abuse and I know a lot of stuff. So it's time for me to tell you what these are. You all know what these are. These are gloves. So these are basically symbolism, a metaphor. This is for the DHS. This is for CART. And this is for PSAN and others to let them know that I've been playing by the rules. I've been playing the game. I've been trying to get you to do what's right by giving you suggestions, testifying at the Mental Retardation Advisory Board, which, by the way, I'll be doing again next week, April the 14th at 1 Smithfield Street.